Mr. KTR, Jayesh Ranjan, the entire Telangana government, the T-Hub management and T-Hub here for making this a reality. And this is just the beginning. We look forward to now working with you for the long term. Thank you all very much for coming today.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful address. And with this, now I would like to request Sri Jayesh Ranjan ji, IAS Principal Secretary, Industries and Commerce and Information Technology, Department, Government of Telangana, to give a special address to the audience. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Varun. Respected Mr. Gopalakrishnan, Suchitra Garu, Mr. Haridas, Mr. Ranganathan, Varun, all the senior leaders from CII, invitees, guests. First of all, I would like to convey greetings of Honorable Minister, Mr. K.T. Ramarao. As Mr. Gopalakrishna pointed out, he was instrumental in this center getting located here in Hyderabad. He was looking forward to this event, very much wanted to be here, but unexpectedly he had to go out of station yesterday. So, but he has conveyed his regards, and hopefully for some of the future interactions and programs, we will surely get him here. And of course, I also would like to add my own congratulations, my compliments for this wonderful facility. We just had a tour on the 6th floor, and it's a very elegant, lots of creativity, lots of very original work coming out of that center. About 8.5 years ago, when our minister took this very audacious decision that Telangana should become a startup state, it should become a role model in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship, there were many naysayers at that time, because typically the understanding or the belief or the narrative at that time was that government should stay away from this work. And typically they would give Bangalore as an example. He was the CEO of that incubator at that time. Why are you standing all the time? There's a chair next to Shanta. So that incubator was there. There was one more in ISB, D Labs. In our ICICI Knowledge Park, there was one of the country's first life sciences incubator. So there were some 40-50 startups, and we gathered them. And Minister asked them about what their challenges are, what their pain points are. And then he told us that we have understood now what is the specific asks from the government. And let us now get on to action, deliver on what they expect from us. So he gave us 2-3 mandates. First, he of course told us that bring out a very good policy, which very categorically mentions what the government intends to do for that sector. Because so far, as I said, the narrative is that the government should stay away, but explain very candidly. If you are CII members, you are, I'm sure, very familiar with how policies are drafted. And I'm sure you would have noticed that typically government policies is less than 200 pages. There's a is just about 15 pages. So by the 200-page standard, we have done a very, very ordinary job, so to say. But again, as I said, but if you read those 200 pages, of course, they're written in very good English. You feel impressed. They are typically printed on glossy paper, so it also touches. When you're touching it, it feels very nice. In fact, if you keep the policy book close to your nose, it will smell very well also. But it's all full of what is called motherhood statements, very aspirational, that 30,000 feet above the ground kind of view. But when we were drafting, so these were actually the directions from the minister, that keep it very simple. Should address a pain point which the startup has brought to your notice. As CII, you would be quite familiar that great policies are written, but very little action happens on the ground. In fact, this is something which people complain about India, that brilliant policies are written, but nothing happens thereafter. Though we have written a 15 pages, very bottom implemented. And if you really dive deep, why is it that policies don't get implemented? One of the reasons, for instance, the IT secretary, and vicariously people may say that you are responsible for implementing the startup policy. Of course, in an indirect way I am, but I'm responsible for hundreds of other things also. And even though I'm interested in startups, I'm passionate about innovation, I can't be spending 24 we did, and again, this is something which government institutions also. Mr. Kamal Bali, you leave this campus, you must the kind of institution that we have created. We have VHub, which again is an institution dedicated for women entrepreneurs. In this building itself, there are two other great institutions. One is called TS Innovation and Entrepreneurship in the rural areas. Typically, these kind of facilities tend to areas as well. Then there is an institution again in this building, which and gets their doors opened for startups. So amazing kind of institutions have been created. And most importantly, again, anyone else can also create these institutions. But something very, very progressive about Telangana government is, while institutions were created, one natural question which comes is that who will run these institutions? So in our government, the minister took a very kind of a very conscious decision that while there could be talent within the government, but much better talent, far better talent is available. People whom you see here, for example, Mr. Srinivas Rao, who is the T-Hub CEO, Shanta, who is here. I noticed Rashmi, who is the CEO for Rich. She just stepped in. All these, their ability, based on their track record. And between all these, in my portfolio, there are approximately about a dozen such institutions. And there are about 400 such people whom we have recruited. And this is 8.5 years ago. Imagine Government of India, just to recruit 7 people through lateral entry program, had to face so much of uproar, so much of controversies. But in Telangana, for the last 8.5 years, 400 people work with us. And they have done amazing work, fantastic work. So it is also very natural that an institution of this kind gets located in Hyderabad. I'm sure on Chris, there would have been other competitive claims also. He is from Bangalore, so of course, the Bangalore government is very indifferent to these kind of things. So I don't think anyone would have reached out to you the way we have done. But I'm sure in other places there are other kind of upstarts like Gurgaon and all these other kind of places. They would have reached out, but I'm very grateful that you have chosen to. Ecosystem can't be matched anywhere else in the country. This has now become a national role model. Lots of other states have come and studied what is happening here, and many of them have actually taken our help to get it. You are present everywhere. You work very closely with policy making approach, our institutions, the talent that we have brought in, the kind of programs that we run. And we follow a very innovative kind of thing, which is called whole of the state approach. Similar incubate follows similar SOPs of very, very useful. You will become a startups that because and helping you refine in having this center. I myself have attended some of those master classes, and I'm sure that opportunity for everyone to innovators. So once again, heartfelt congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for addressing the audience and providing information on the initiatives, the wonderful initiatives by the government of Telangana towards promoting startup ecosystem in the state. I would now like to request Mr. C.K. Rangan of the CII Startuppreneur Awards. So welcome.
Ranjan. Mr. Chris, Suchitra, Varun, Sujit, Shobna, all the past chair, members of CII, startuppreneurs here who are all the members from startup community, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great pleasure to see this Center of Excellence getting inaugurated. Very happy, and this is a dream come true. Chris has visualized this long back, and very happy that Telangana government has welcomed us with open hand and extended all the supports. Thanks a lot for Telangana government for providing excellent support for this initiative. So Chris, you are known for several excellence centers. You have been giving time and again a lot of initiatives. You are leaving a legacy of creating such kind of centers. Thanks a lot. I think you have been at the forefront of giving a lot of your time for the welfare of the industry. So we in CII are very appreciative of your tireless efforts in launching the 10th Center of Excellence today, and I'm very happy to be part of this inaugural ceremony. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, thank you for your continued support and guidance to CII for enabling the formal launch of the Center in T-Hub for promoting innovation, corporate startup collaboration, and offering conducive ecosystem for the growth of entrepreneurship in the state of Telangana. Suchitra, Chairperson of CII Southern Region, we are happy to have you with us today. We all know that Dr. Krishna Ella and Suchitra are the recipient of the prestigious Padma Bhushan Award for their contribution and the distinguished achievement of creating Covaxin, India's first indigenous COVID-19 vaccine. It's my immense pleasure to welcome all the esteemed panelists today to the inauguration of CII Center of Excellence for the Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startup facility. Chris highlighted a lot on the startup ecosystem in India, the various initiatives of the center in providing much needed corporate startup connect for the pushing the innovation index of Indian industry. Today, India is home to the third largest startup ecosystem, going by the number of startups and unicorns in the world. The country is right behind two global superpowers, these are US and China. The Indian startup ecosystem has grown exponentially due to an increasing number of unicorns and steady rise in venture capital inflow. And the environment is changing. I'm sure you are all aware. Gone are the days that the investor, the venture capitalists, who have been pushing the startups for valuation, and only the top line that counts, multiples of top lines. And now that has changed dramatically. Overnight, the last 1 year, if you see, that there is a U-turn, the way we have seen in the past, in the dot-com burst in 2000. And similar thing has happened again. And now the bottom line, when are you going to make profits? So I think that's coming back. It's a sound fundamentals I think we need to definitely embrace. And there are some struggles we are seeing in some of the startups who have gone thus far in chasing only the top line and way deep in terms of reinventing themselves in deep trouble as far as burning huge cash of money. I think this CII Startup and Corporate Connect program would definitely help. I think startups are, the corporates are known for making business work, sustainability. All these things are demonstrated by the corporates. And the startups have their own advantages in terms of innovation, the agility, the kind of the speed they bring it to the table. And all said and done, we all know, I think in corporate, over a period of time, we have people who follow certain regime, certain rules, certain guidelines very strictly. But startup there is no rules. It's first break all the rules. And I think that's a very, very important thing. Therefore, there's a lot of learning for the corporates to look at that, how they can reinvent from the startups. And this is one thing that we expect. Very happy there are 200 seats allocated to this program of corporate startup, this thing, and 20% allocated to startup. So this is not going to be just a helping of the startups. I'm very sure this is a win-win partnership. And this is very, very important. The corporates also benefit a lot by learning a lot from the startups, and eventually acquire them also as they kind of guide them. And I think the startups also will get the right mentorship and guidance, what is required from the corporates. So I have a pleasant task of announcing we have also, as a Connect program, the startup and corporates, we have instituted the kind of awards. The corporates are there, the startups are there. Those partnerships are merged. We bring them together. And so far we have done over 40 corporate startup connects. Awarded a lot of participants in the past years. And this year again, the numbers are swelling as we go forward. We are very happy to kind of announce few startups who have come here. And may I invite you to kind of invite them. You can come.
Thank you so much, Mr. C.K. Ranganathan, sir. It's only grown and flourished further. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Proficient Vision Solutions Private Limited, top startup in the manufacturing sector by Larsen & Toubro. We will now be presenting the trophies and certificate to the startups. Founder, Mr. Professor Sudipta Mukhopadhyay. A big congratulations to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the startup, Prakshet Private Limited, top startup in agriculture and food sector by Elico Limited. Founder being Mr. Avijit Kumar Singh. Congratulations, Mr. Avijit Kumar Singh and team. We may now invite the startup in the manufacturing sector by Forbes Marshall, Black Frog Technologies Private Limited. Founder, Mr. Mayur U. Shetty. Congratulations, Mr. Mayur U. Shetty and team. Manufacturing Co. Limited. Founder, Mr. Parag Bilgi. Congratulations.
This was launched in the year 2018. CII Entrepreneur Awards for the first step in the direction of connecting startups with the corporate. So over the past editions, I was talking about 40 plus corporates have participated. Some of them to name, I think Cyient Limited, Antrix, Bharat Airtel, Bharti Airtel, Dr. Reddy's Labs, Elico, Forbes Marshall, Godrej and Boyce, Godrej Consumer Products, Infosys, JCB, Jubilant Life Sciences, L&T. These are some of the industries to kind of this thing to showcase. Process of selecting the relevant startups. I think this all will be completed in a couple of months' time. So we would be presenting the 2022 Startup Run Awards at the first edition of National Startup Summit scheduled for 24th May 2023 in New Delhi. I take this opportunity to invite all of you present here to join us on the 24th May. We'll share the details on the program for your participation soon. Thank you very much. Startup Corporate Connect program.
Enterprises Limited to come onto the dais for the MOU exchange. Please welcome Ms. Shobhana Kamaneni. Research and Innovations is a department of Apollo Hospitals Enterprise Limited, spearheading research, innovations, and educated-related programs in quest of enabling Apollo Hospitals to introduce cutting-edge technologies, therapies, and other innovations in the ecosystem. CII, CIES, and Apollo are collaborating to support startups in the healthcare domain to scale up their businesses.
So I really want to thank Chris for making, you were the catalyst to make this happen. And because Jayesh and I have been talking about this for the last 3 years, and I think that for everything you need the right time, the right moment. And I would think that probably 3 years ago we would not have given it the attention that such a venture deserves. And today Apollo Hospitals really, as the largest ecosystem that during the pandemic, definitely we were too busy to be able to do this. But today we have a fund in Singapore, and we're starting a dedicated healthcare fund here in India. We have facilities to actually connect. We're looking for some of the brightest minds in the healthcare field who have new ideas, bleeding edge technology, with a passion to make healthcare more inclusive, affordable, and actually push the envelope. And you have an ecosystem here in Telangana at T-Hub, in the CII Center of Excellence, and the entire Apollo Hospital network, which is, again, the largest system, the healthcare system in the world, will be opened up. So we're really looking for entrepreneurs, and today is a great beginning. Ishita, our CEO, is here, and we do hope that everyone will take advantage, and we're not going to see just manufacturing out here, Jayesh and Chris. We'll make sure that Telangana will be the hub of healthcare excellence, definitely for the world. So all the best to you.
Thank you, Shobhana, for this. And personally, I strongly believe that healthcare is ripe for explosive innovation, explosive transformation. And in healthcare, we can actually lead the world. I don't see any reason. Yeah, R&D to delivery of services, new business models, everything, and at a cost that nobody can even beat, right? So we can be world-beating in healthcare, and we should be. Thank you.
The rest of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, sir, and Ms. Shobhana Kamaneni, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Ramesh Datla, Executive Chairman, Elico Group, to come onto the stage for the MOU exchange. Please welcome Dr. Ramesh Datla. Elico Limited is a leading analytical instruments, design and manufacturing company, Asian company in India, and the first electronics industry in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
We have been a technology-based company for almost 6 decades. And one of our focus areas has been in agriculture, instrumentation for soil analysis and testing. But what we have seen is, as years passed, decades passed, the technology usage, even though they updated and the latest technologies they're using, there's a lot of disconnect as far as the data is concerned, and how do you bring in a total solution? So that has been our target, and with this CII program, we want to make sure that some startup will work in this area to bring in a total solution for agriculture applications to increase the productivity of the crops. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramesh Datla, sir, and thank you so much, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, sir. May I now request Mr. Amitesh Sinha, Head of Corporate Venture Capital and Vedanta Spark Initiatives, to come onto the dais for the exchange of MOUs. Can we please welcome Mr. Amitesh Sinha? Vedanta Spark is a global corporate innovation accelerator and ventures program aiming to enable startups that leverage transformative and sustainable technologies. With focus areas into digital core, emerging May I now request Mr. Amitesh Sinha to address us with a few words.
Thank you. We are very grateful of CII having this COE, and we are very much looking forward to get collaborations with the startups. Vedanta is a 5-decade-old company. We are into metal and mining, but our chairman's vision is to collaborate with startups to enhance and accelerate our innovation and bring in the talent pool. With the CVC program, which we are going to run, we're also looking forward for making investments in the startups who can help us in our innovation journey and accelerate our volume, cost, initiatives, and ESG. So thank you so much.
May I now request Mr. Sanjay Khare, Vice President, Safety and Sustainability Strategy, Skoda Auto Volkswagen India Private Limited, to come onto the dais for the signing of the MOU. Please welcome Mr. Sanjay Khare, who will be working towards running a startup immersion program. The program is intended to provide a platform for startups focusing on emerging technologies and innovative digital solutions for the automotive and the mobility sector. May I now request Mr. Khare to say us a few words, please.
Thank you very much, CII. I'm really flabbergasted to see such a wonderful center getting created. I've been able to see things only like this. I'll rather say it's surpassing whatever I've seen till now anywhere in the world. My heartfelt compliments to what Telangana government is doing. And before I read my formal statement, I'll simply say I think I'll continue off what you people just now said, sir, that corporates are really focused upon building value. They work in some rigid systems and processes so that we maintain nimble. We want to be fast. Then we have to take support of the startups. For example, if we just take an example, there's one very old saying called elephants can't dance. And I think it was something reference to IBM. But today's date, elephant can dance, but it cannot match the speed of a Jaguar. And I think our startups are those Jaguars which can really lead us to much higher levels. We formally believe that this program will provide a very unique platform of deep tech startup solutions to collaborate with our experts and developing cutting-edge solutions that will drive the future of automotive industry. Automotive industry is on the cusp of a change, major change on the transportation, particularly with the sustainability thought process around the basically emissions. So it's all about getting into electrifications or into other alternate fuels. And also on the higher level of mobility is all about autonomous and connected cars. Many technologies are coming, like for example, ADAS and such technologies are already ready, but many more things will happen in very, very near future. And I think the startups will be able to give us that nimbleness and that support. As the Indian startup ecosystem has become a melting pot for new ideas and innovation that are poised to change the course of Indian industry. We have concrete plans for the overall startup innovation program, and it's not just about India. We are the largest automotive manufacturer, have 120 manufacturing locations. We already have one of the biggest programs going, the global one also, if we are able to come up with some wonderful thought processes. Thank you.
The inspirational words. May I now call upon Ms. Suchitra Ella, Chairperson, CII Southern Region and co-founder and MD, Bharat Biotech International Limited, to deliver the closing remarks.
Greetings to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's indeed my privilege to be standing here today to deliver the vote of thanks at the inaugural session of the CII's 10th Center of Excellence for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups. This is indeed a pleasure for me, a double pleasure, because to be ending my journey and the responsibilities that I've had over the last 2 years, and especially standing on my home ground and on my home wicket. So this is a fantastic memory for me to hold on to as I continue to do the rest later on. Thank you, Chris, for your visionary leadership and the continued support in ensuring the intent of CII in creating an ecosystem for corporates and for startups to collaborate, to engage, to innovate for India and to the world at large. I think the time has come for us to demonstrate that soft power that we are, and I think India at 75, there can't be a better time than this, with India being 75. And also it's even special because of the G20 presidency that we hold as a country, and more pleasure since CII is the B20 secretariat of the G20. So this is something very, very special to all of us at CII. Thanks to you, Chris, and thanks to the leadership that you have had from the very beginning. Indian startups are progressing on the global arena, and I can visualize the key role our Center of Excellence has in enabling startups, the startup community, to continuously innovate, provide job opportunities, and also mark their business presence across the globe. At this time, I can't thank Shri KTR Garu more than this for actually taking that lead initiative and from the rest of the country to show that Telangana is a cut above the rest. I know he's not here with us physically, but he's here with us, I'm sure, always. The other day we met him, Vagish and all of us, at the Telangana State Annual Session, and we've heard him speak, and we have, there can't be a better brand ambassador than Shri KTR Garu for us. Thank you, KTR Garu. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, our heartfelt appreciations and gratitude to you for your leadership and the supportive ecosystem that you have created from the government of Telangana in creating this world-class innovation hub in the city of Hyderabad. in the heart of the high-tech Cyberabad region, Gachibowli Financial District, the erstwhile Madhapur, when it started back in 1996 that we all can remember. This is to encourage the young minds to engage in their entrepreneurship journeys and ventures rather than being mere job seekers. I think this will go a long way to show that the ecosystem has to be there in order to encourage the young and the bright minds to take up the entrepreneurial journey, which is, I know, very tough. Less said, the better. The visionary leadership of the government of Telangana has taken the state of Telangana to the second place in the innovation index in the country. And I hope soon we will take over the first position as well at this rate. In good spirit, CKR, I'm happy that you could join us today in the inaugural ceremony as the chairman of the CII Startuppreneur Awards. I'm sure CII will continue to recognize the out-of-box innovative solutions being developed by the startups, as well as engage with them with the corporates for addressing their internal innovations, challenges, societal issues, so on and so forth. CKR, I remember the days when we had started working on the Innovation Awards in the southern region in Chennai. I recall the moments when we would all gather together as a jury to select the Innovation Awards and the Startuppreneur Awards, which was initiated again from the southern region. And all the credit goes to CKR for pulling that one off so well, so well. I want to thank all the participants who are here today with us, who, in my view, are the brand ambassadors of entrepreneurship. I do see startups who are incubated at T-Hub joining us today, and I would like to recommend to them to engage with the Confederation of Indian Industry for furthering their ideas, collaborating with responsible and corporates who have the vision and the outset in terms of what can be further achieved for the country and for the world at large, to get mentoring support. I think that is very important for hand-holding and mentoring, and to grow in your business model, I think, which is, again, something that startups should not give up. I remember that way back in 1996 and 98, I think Krishna and I were just doing the same thing. We were just startups way back then. Probably we didn't call ourselves that, but that's how our journey began as well. We never gave up. That's the essence of, I think, the entrepreneurial journey, is that never give up. In 2012, some of the women leaders from the southern region got together to ideate and launch an exclusive organization of women entrepreneurs, professionals, students, and other career women. We are ably supported and consulted by Sujit Haridas, who launched, and Madhu Vasanthi, of course, later on followed. We launched CII's Indian Women Network. Sujit, you and I have a long way going back in the southern region again, which has now grown into a national initiative. I hope that there will also be a women-led startups coming and establishing themselves in this facility. This is world-class. This is amazing. Sujit, thank you for your support then and now, and for your leadership in spearheading the various initiatives of this center, and look forward to more accolades to come in the future as well. With these few words, I would like to bring the inaugural ceremony to a close. Thank you very much. See you all later.
Thank you so much, Ms. Suchitra Ella, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable words. Requesting the dignitaries on the dais for a group picture. We will have a brief session changeover. Yeah. Moving on to an important B20 session, focusing on the topic, technology competition in the innovation sector versus collaboration. Changing